This book represents the third edition of a manuscript I started working on in November of 2018. At that time, my writing skills were in their infancy, and I was still struggling to find my voice. Completing the first draft was difficult, but I knew that Ikigai and Kaizen were two concepts that the world could use more of. In the years that followed since the initial publication, many of you have taken the time to write to me, sending heartfelt messages about your own personal transformations and the success you've experienced with the concepts outlined in these pages. Each email that plopped into my inbox was like a warm embrace, wrapping me up in a blanket of serotonin and enlivening me to strive to improve the book's content even more. This new edition is reflective of that quest. It contains many little tweaks, alterations, and few new illustrations. I've also added a couple thousand of additional words about the practical application of Ikigai and some adjunct philosophies from the beautiful nation of Japan.
Ikigai Kaizen. Ikigai.
In reading these chapters, I hope that you will develop a deep appreciation for the simple elegance of Japanese art and culture. They have an affinity for the majesty of nature and the many lessons it has to teach us about the acceptance of transience and our perpetual struggle to find beauty and meaning amidst the chaos of life's imperfections. Such a mindset can be an invaluable asset as we all struggle to navigate the complexities of existence with grace. May your path be long, serpentine, and streaked with rabbit trails. Anthony Raymond, November 8th, 2023. Introduction. Amidst the chaotic tides of change that so often leave us feeling rudderless, search for direction and purpose is a quest that every person must embark on at least once. Such journeys are usually initiated following the introduction of a new life goal. It might come in the form of a college entrance exam, a new business venture, a fitness regimen, or perhaps even a mission to find someone to marry. While personal objectives vary widely, each one of us, each nobleman, king, pauper, pleb, been assigned a non-negotiable imperative. Must set and accomplish new goals of one form or another each and every day until you die. To be human means to be a contestant in an interminable race. When you awake each morning, the race begins. After you stumble out of bed and rub your sleepy eyes, the first objective of the day will be quick and reveal itself to you. What's on your to-do list this morning? Is this your first day of school? The day of your child's birth? The start of a new career? Will you be landing a spacecraft on Mars? Is this your wedding day? Or perhaps today you intend to do nothing more than drink beer and watch cat videos on YouTube. Though the size of complexities of your goals will vary throughout your life, the necessity to set new goals will persist. There will never be a day when you find yourself without a goal of some size to complete. There will never be a day when you resolve it not tested. It will forever be wavering, vacillating, determination and doubt, shaking like a ship in perilous. It is your job to keep your hands on the wheel, to ensure that your ship remains on a even keel despite the winds of change that streak across its bow. Life's marathon calls upon us to jog up a perpetual incline. The race features many hurdles, grueling sprints, and occasional checkpoints at which you'll be granted a temporary respite. A brief moment to catch your breath and exchange a few high fives with your friends. But your hour of triumph will be short. The call of the road is loudest when your pace has halted. The marathon never ends, as the American author David Dita wrote. Every moment of your life is either a test or a celebration. Hence, becoming proficient at the art of goal setting is in the interest of us all. But if this is true, then why are we all so bad at it? Why do we fail to accomplish our goals so often? Why is it so difficult to stick to a course of actions even when we know it would be in our best interest to do so? Why do we so often lose sight of our dreams, even the ones that once gleamed so brightly on the horizon before us? Curiously, most of us already possess the physical and mental abilities required to accomplish impressive life feats. Think of it this way. If a mad scientist held a gun to your head and forced you to jog 5 miles on a treadmill each evening after work, you could probably do it. Alternatively, if you were locked in a cell with your biology textbook and told and that you would be released and given $1 million if you got an A plus on your next exam, then you could probably do that too. So why don't you? If you're convinced that it's in your interest to implement a nightly workout regimen or study for tomorrow's exam, then why can't you just do the work without the threat of a gun-toting psychopath looming behind you? Usually, such failures are not the result of a lack of intelligence or stamina. Instead, we lack the conviction and willpower necessary to see a long-term goal to its completion. Unfortunately, we humans often find it difficult to engage in the self-directed pursuit of a lengthy project, especially when there are no external drivers prodding us to action. Momentous life goals require us to commit to the completion of daily, strenuous activities, but inactivity is the default state of man. When our bodies are comfortable, well-fed, and safe, then our lower mind, aka lizard brain, reptilian complex, or limbic system, would prefer to remain inactive. Though our conscious mind is well aware of next week's looming deadline, our lower mind thinks the next week is 1,000,000 years away. It lives in the here and now. The future is an abstract concept that doesn't require immediate attention. Hence, it's easy for our lower mind to ignore it. When you call upon your mind to spend 3 hours attending to something called a biology textbook, it will invoke various states like fatigue, boredom, or despair. To prevent you from executing such a bothersome and energy-consuming task, your lower brain would prefer to not exchange its precious energy for a few tidbits of information about frog intestines. Especially when the only reward for this is
Exertion.
exertion is a piece of paper with a red A plus written on it. An A plus cannot be immediately traded for power, food, or sex. So it's difficult for our conscious mind to convince our lower mind to spend precious resources trying to obtain it. As the adage goes, brain exists to help you survive, not to thrive. Our mind seems to be pursuing two contrary sets of goals. The activities that we should be doing are often not the activities that the lower mind necessarily enjoys doing. While your conscious mind may genuinely want to engage in industrious pursuits and climb the ladder of self-actualization, your lower mind may not want to come along for the ride. How we reconcile this tension? Is there any way to harmonize such divergent imperatives? What can we do to convince our minds to stay the course, to focus its energies on the pursuit of constructive life goals rather than carnal desires? The answer to these questions lies in first recognizing the difference between intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. If someone requires you to do something like running at gunpoint, then you are subject to an extrinsic motivator, compelled to action due to external forces of reward or punishment. On the other hand, when it comes to intrinsic motivation, one's actions are driven by internal desires, perhaps spurred on by the pursuit of mastery, the thrill of physical exertion, or the satisfaction
satisfaction of completing a beneficial objective. Wouldn't life be easier if there was some way to trick your mind into becoming intrinsically motivated instead of having to rely on external drivers like a boss, a parent, or a teacher? What if you could learn to spot triggers and mental traps that cause you to procrastinate, put things off, or halt your forward progress? What if you could change the way you perceive life goals and learn to break large objectives down into their smaller constituent parts, such that each incremental step towards the goalpost seemed more manageable? Well, that's what this book is here to teach you. It's time to put a stop to these old habits and try something new. It's time to stop procrastinating. It's time to learn how to set goals and accomplish them with gusto. It's time to complete the task you were put on this planet to do. The 4 concepts. In this book, we'll be introducing you 4 concepts from the East.
Ikigai.
Ikigai,
Lingqi. Hands.
Ikigai. First concept is Ikigai. Ikigai is a Japanese life strategy that emphasizes the importance of finding your true calling. Colloquially, the word can be translated as your reason for living or your reason to get out of bed in the morning. The mindset is perpetrated by long-lived residents of
Okinawa.
Island, Okinawa, of whom cite their Ikigai
Ikigai.
reason for their impressive longevity. The pursuit of one's Ikigai is an important journey of self-discovery. If you can correctly identify the vocation that you are best suited for, then the spark of intrinsic motivation will illuminate within you, igniting the passions that power your pursuits, prompting your accomplished momentous feats.
Lingqi.
Second concept, Lingqi, is a Chinese term that is commonly translated in the West as death by 1,000 cuts. We'll be employing this metaphor, the book, as so nicely describes the nature of human failure and the difficulties we encounter when attempting to identify the root cause of our
Foibles.
foibles. You have noticed that your most glorious life failures did not result from just one problem. Rather, they originate from 1,000 little cuts. 1,000 little
Ruinous.
decisions come together to create a quagmire. If you learn to recognize these infractions before they accumulate, then you can put a stop to them, preventing undesirable circumstances from escalating into situations that are detrimental to your aspirations.
Hansei.
Third concept is called Hansei, honest self-reflection. Hansei is a Japanese method for understanding what went wrong. It's about seeking clarity of thought through careful consideration of past mistakes. A skilled Hansei practitioner can analyze the multi-delusional failures that led to an undesirable outcome. And in doing so, he or she can gain valuable insights that will prevent similar errors from occurring in the future. Kaizen. And the solution to many of our goal-setting problems can be found in the 4th concept, Kaizen, often translated as continuous improvement. With Kaizen, we understand that the answers to life's biggest quandaries come in the form of a magic pill. Instead, our momentous accomplishments are typically the result of years of concentrated effort and dedication. Kaizen teaches us how to atomize big obstacles, how to break them down into their more manageable component parts, that we might build up the psychological momentum to overcome each hurdle via consistent daily action. Ready to begin? When you train your mind to be ever cognizant of these 4 concepts, you'll have a unique perspective on goal attainment, one that few people in the West have ever been exposed to. The synergy of these ideas will enable you to muster great self-discipline, focus, perseverance, and drive.